The best answer is true. Both the state of New York and New York City have specific laws prohibiting workplace sexual harassment. Not only is sexual harassment prohibited under Title VII of the Federal Civil Rights Act of 1964, it is also prohibited under the New York State Human Rights Law. New York City also prohibits sexual harassment under the Stop Sexual Harassment in New York City Act. Each law is enforced by a designated government agency. For the federal law, the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission, EEOC. For New York, the New York State Division of Human Rights, and for New York City, the New York City Commission on Human Rights.
Harassment is a form of discrimination, and New York is committed to eliminating not just sexual harassment, but also harassment in all forms. All harassment is prohibited, and everyone in the workplace is protected from sexual harassment. This includes employees, paid or unpaid interns, and non-employees, like contractors or other third-party participants in your workplace. Harassment can consist of, for example, sharing sexual displays of content on workplace computers or cell phones with those you work with. Harassment can also consist of sexually oriented gestures, noises, remarks, jokes, or comments about a person's sexuality or sexual experiences. It includes words, signs, bullying, yelling, name-calling, jokes, pranks, intimidation, sabotaging an individual's work, interfering with one's ability to perform the job, as well as physical actions or violence that is directed at an employee because of any protected class characteristic. Protected classes include age, race or color, including ethnicity, religion or creed, national origin, disability, military status, sex, sexual orientation, self-identified or perceived sex, gender expression, gender identity, transgender status, pregnancy, marital status, domestic violence victim status, or criminal history. The principles explained in this training apply not only to sexual harassment, but also to harassment on the basis of any of these protected classes.
Harassment includes offensive behavior based on stereotypes relating to a protected class, as well as behavior that is intended to cause discomfort or humiliation because of a protected characteristic. It includes any expression of contempt or hatred for the group to which the victim belongs based on a protected characteristic. Harassing a person because that person does not conform in personality, conduct, speech, or appearance to stereotypical ideas or perceptions about how individuals of either sex should act or look is illegal. For example, harassing someone who is performing a job usually performed by someone of a different sex in the past is illegal sex discrimination. Sexual harassment may include words or conduct not of a sexual nature, but that are directed at an individual because of that individual's sex.
Reports of sexual harassment are serious, and your employer will take reports seriously. Reports of harassing behavior will be promptly investigated, and the perpetrator or perpetrators will be told to stop. Disciplinary action will be taken if appropriate. If the behavior is sufficiently serious, disciplinary action may include termination. Repeated behavior, especially after an employee has been told to stop, is particularly serious and will be dealt with accordingly. In October 2018, a restaurant settled a sex discrimination and harassment lawsuit filed by the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission in New York on behalf of a transgender hostess. The employer will pay the former employee $100,000 for allowing employees to repeatedly stand in groups gawking, laughing and pointing at the aggrieved individual, and making crude, disparaging remarks about her being transgender. Despite reporting this behavior to her manager, nothing was done. When a concerned coworker also reported the harassment to the area director, the hostess was terminated.
Should you experience any form of sexual misconduct, including sexual harassment, or should you witness it or receive a report of it, report to your manager, supervisor, or another person your employer has designated to receive reports as set forth in your employer's sexual harassment policy. Please note that the behavior does not need to be a violation of the law to be a violation of the policy. Always promptly communicate reports or instances of sexual harassment to those in your organization who are authorized to manage the reports. Managers and supervisors who knowingly allow such behavior to continue will be disciplined. Report without fear of retaliation. Retaliation is any action taken to alter your terms and conditions of employment, like a demotion or cutting your hours. Retaliation includes any action taken by an employer to discourage you from reporting. The negative action need not be job-related or occur in the workplace. It could occur after employment, such as a negative job reference. Not all negative employment actions are illegal retaliation, even if they occur after you report harassment. Provide information in an investigation, or support someone who has been harassed. You are still subject to your job requirements and disciplinary rules.